In the last movie, we created a Boolean, but it had some issues. And those arose because the original operands did not have sufficient polygon detail. I'm going to use the QuickSlice tool to chop some new edges and create some new polygons in this object, and that will prevent some of the issues that can crop up with a Boolean. The object is an editable poly already, so I'll select it, and let's just investigate its structure. In the Editable Poly Modify panel, we have the various subobject modes. Vertex is point, edge is line, border is a series of open edges that are not bounded on both sides by polygons, and polygon is a flat surface, or should be flat surface anyway, but in Max, polygons are actually kind of allowed to be not flat or coplanar. And that's kind of bad, but it comes in handy in some cases, especially when subdivision surface modeling, as we'll see later. The polygons in this object are all flat. The last subobject mode is element, which is a series of connected polygons, sometimes known as a shell. This is currently just one shell. It's all one element. I'll go into polygon subobject mode and click on some of these polygons. Some of the issues we're going to see with Booleans will arise because this is just a single massive polygon, and we're trying to cut 4 holes in it, and that's not really going to work terribly well. Additionally, we've got an issue at the top and bottom of the walls. If I get in close with Control-Alt-Middle mouse, this is all one giant polygon on the top here. If I click on that, and that's actually kind of illegal for a couple of reasons. It's concave, and it's also got a giant hole in it. In fact, it's got 2 holes in it. So this is kind of asking a lot of the Boolean operation to handle geometry like this. It may look okay on our screen here, but as far as the calculation of the Boolean goes, this is actually kind of a challenging case. So we can help avoid some of the issues with Booleans by chopping some new edges through here, and that can be done with the QuickSlice tool. We don't need to be in any subobject mode. If I exit out of Polygon Subobject, I'm back in object mode. And if I do a QuickSlice now, I'm going to chop through the entire object and all of the polygons under the cursor. And that's what I want right now. In a moment, we'll look at operating only on subobject selections. The first thing I want is an edge loop, or a series of edges running all the way around just above these portals. It's easiest to do that in the left view. I'll dolly forward with Control-Alt-Middle mouse. And over on the Edit Geometry rollout, we've got a button labeled QuickSlice. When we activate that button, now we can create a new edge loop through the model by clicking twice anywhere in a viewport. If I click once, I'm setting one position for the slice, and you can see as I move my cursor around, we're getting a preview of that slice. If I click a second time, then now I get the edges. Okay, that's not the result that I wanted, but I was just demonstrating how QuickSlice works. I'll undo that with Control-Z. I want a precision QuickSlice by snapping to the grid here. I'll enable grid snapping. Doesn't matter whether we're in 2.5 or 3D mode, but we do want to right-click and make sure that we're only snapping to grid points. And we can click once to create one point, click again to create another point, both points exactly at the top of that box. And now we get what we wanted, which was a single giant edge loop running through the entire model. We'll also need to cut between each one of these portals, and that's easiest to do in the top view. I'll get in closer there on these east and west sides. Let's go to the west side here, dolly forward, and click once to create one point, click again to create another point, and now we've got a new edge loop there. Continue that process, chopping through. Now I've cut between all of the portals, but I should also cut through each one of them just to be safe. The more detail we have here, the better result we'll get with our Boolean. I'm going to create some more edges, chopping through the center of each of those portals. And there they are. I've got all of those, at least on the east and west walls. I also need to deal with these north and south walls. So we'll create a couple of edge loops here on either side of these portals. Also through the portals themselves. Okay, I've cut through a lot of those, but there is one area that deserves a little special attention. We want to extend these edges in order to sort of isolate this wall from the rest of the structure. So we'll go here in the top viewport and click a couple times to quick slice through there to create a couple more edges there. Okay, that's the structure I'm going for on that north wall. I also want to cut through on the south wall, so let's go down there in the top view, getting close there. And I want to cut through between these doors. We can see that in our perspective view as well. I want an edge loop running through here between each door, but I don't want to mess up anything on this north wall here. I only want to select these polygons and cut through those only. So I'll go into Polygon Subobject mode, exit out of QuickSlice, and in Polygon Mode, I want to select polygons on the front face. And we can see in the top viewport, they're being displayed as shaded. And so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I'm going to turn that off. We can disable shade selected faces with a keyboard shortcut, which is F2. And now I can go back to my QuickSlice tool and cut a couple new edge loops here and here. And now I've got the detail that I need to perform the Boolean operation. Exit out of QuickSlice, exit out of Polygon Subobject mode. Maybe maximize this viewport, Alt-W to maximize it. We've cut through in all the places necessary in order to make sure that we don't have issues, or at least major issues, with the Boolean operation. It's how to use QuickSlice to add detail to a polygon model.